I suddenly woke up from a coma after 3 years, but when my daughter finally walked through that hospital door, she looked at me like I was a stranger. Hi, my name is Mason Rivers. I was a structural engineer. I was 35 years old when a building beam fractured above my head. My last memory is pushing my colleague toward a doorway. Then nothing. Darkness. Until this morning, June 18th, 2024, when the lights came back on and I learned that time doesn't stop for broken men. This is what 3 years of silence sounds like when it finally breaks. Mason notices the sunlight hits the wall at the wrong angle for March, his last memory. His neck won't turn properly. Atrophied muscles. A feeding tube is gone, but his throat is shredded. Dorothy, his mother, asleep in the chair. He doesn't recognize her immediately. She's aged a decade in 3 years. When she wakes and sees his eyes open, she freezes. He tries to speak. Hazel? Comes out as, huh? Zell? Dorothy's face crumples. She doesn't lie. She's coming, Mason. She's at school. School? She's 12 now, baby. The monitor beeps faster. Panic, not comfort. Stakes set. He tries to sit up. Can't. His legs are dead weight. The realization, I'm trapped in a body that moved on without me. Wait, what moment? His hand, when did his wedding ring get so loose? Juliet's been gone longer in his timeline, but the physical atrophy makes the ring slide. Footsteps in the hallway. Too heavy. Too measured. Not the skipping 9-year-old he remembers. Opens. Hazel stands there. Jeans. Black nail polish. Brooke allowed it at 11. Hair long. Face angular. She's holding herself like she's entering a funeral, not a reunion. Mason sees Juliet's eyes in her face, but older, colder. Dad, she says, testing the word. It hangs in the air wrong. He tries to reach out. His arm moves 6 inches. Falls. Hazel crosses the room, careful of the IV lines, and bends down. The hug is awkward because he can't lift his arms around her. She's too tall to fit under his chin. She smells like vanilla and cigarettes. She's been stealing Brooke's clothes when stressed. Detail never explicitly stated. Just the smell. Brooke in the doorway. Watching, exhausted, terrified. She's been mum for 3 years. Now, what is she? As Hazel pulls back, wiping her face roughly, if you've ever had someone look at you like they weren't sure who you were, you know what happened next. Checks vitals. Explains the bare minimum severe TBI. 3 years post-trauma. Motor function compromised but cognitively remarkably intact. Flashback trigger. Mason remembers the crack in the beam. Says aloud, the water damage. I told them. Doctor. You saved 12 people. One was Trevor. Trevor lived. Cut to flashback 3 seconds, the groan of wood. Shoving Trevor. The impact. Back to present. Trevor visits monthly. She's been quiet. Now she unloads fragments, not exposition. We kept the house. I moved in. Your insurance fought us for 2 years. The subtext, I gave up everything. Mason looks at his hand. Can I walk? The pause. Not yet. Hazel pulls out her iPhone 15. Mason remembers his iPhone 8. She opens an album titled For When You Wake Up, 3 years documented. Swipe her with missing front teeth, age 10. Swipe. Soccer goal, she plays sports now. Swipe. Trevor's wedding, he's married. Swipe. The closed movie theatre downtown, now a clinic. Swipe Brooke's hair with grey streaks. Swipe Hazel in a school play she's on stage, performing. Not the kid who hid behind his legs. The screen is too bright. The motion is too fast. He asks her to stop. It's too much. He missed the pandemic ending. He missed her first period. He missed her learning to hate him, then forgive him. The treehouse. She mentions it offhand. Trevor finished it last summer. Mason stares. He was building that. Had the lumber delivered the week before the accident. Mason was discharged not because he's healed, because there's nothing more the hospital can do. Wheelchair, oxygen tank temporarily. Brooke's Subaru has his wheelchair in the back now. They decided to drive home. Cedar Heights has electric charging stations where the hardware store was. The historic hotel he was inspecting, renovation completed. People living in it. He stares at the 4th floor window. At the house, it was. Same porch. Different welcome mat. Live, laugh, love. Brooke's ironic choice. Inside, his office is now her design studio. His bedroom smells like antiseptic, and the rented hospital bed dominates the space. The walls have 3 years of Hazel's growth chart. Brooke continued it in different coloured ink. But before we go on with the story, please subscribe if you want to see whether a family can glue itself back together after time shatters it. Now, back to the story. It was late at night, so Mason tried to use the bathroom. Brooke has to help him. It was humiliating. He sees himself in the mirror, gaunt. The scar on his temple where hair won't grow. He looks 60. Panic attack, full body tremors. Hazel comes downstairs. She heard him screaming in his sleep. She sits on the floor by his hospital bed. The first honest conversation. I stopped visiting for 3 weeks when I was 11. I was so angry at you for being a hero. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. It makes it worse. What do I do? I don't know. You weren't here when I learned how to talk to boys, or when I got my period, or when Brooke taught me how to drive. You drive? I'm 12, Dad, not 5. Pause. I still go up to the treehouse sometimes. When I miss you, the old way. He tells her about the flannel shirt she's wearing, his painting shirt. She stole it from Brooke's closet. It's the first normal moment. It was the next day. Hazel makes him coffee. Terrible. She's wearing her school uniform. 7th grade. She's taller than Brooke now. Trevor arrives with Elena, his pregnant wife. Mason sees him alive, healthy, about to be a father. The guilt and relief mix. You saved me. Now let me help you build your life back. The build lands heavy. Dr. Klein calls first physical therapy appointment is today. The work starts now. From the window, Hazel wheels him to see the backyard. The treehouse is weathered, sturdy. Maybe I can climb up there again, she says. When you're ready, he replies. Meaning when I can walk to the base of it. Hazel grabs her backpack. See you after school, Dad. The word dad, slightly less tentative. She walks out. He watches her, this 12-year-old giant who used to fit in his elbow. Please turn on notifications. Because stories like this, the ones that hurt but heal, they're why we started this channel. Mason's internal voiceover about how every morning now is borrowed time, how he measures his recovery, not in steps taken, but in moments Hazel lets him into her world. The lesson you should take from this is time is the one structural integrity test you can't prepare for. You just have to survive the collapse and rebuild. On the treehouse, swaying slightly in the mountain wind, is the end.